Hey there, my fellow masterwork craftsmen, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. Episode 11, the best pick a dwarf can own. With the new granite that I have, what I will do, at least for now, is to replace these ugly walls. Oops, that was hanging on the wall, wasn't it? What was that anyway? My weapon rack. Replace the crude walls with nicer ones. So with the balsam wood, I have access to polished wood floors, which are fancier looking floors. And railings, which is more or less what that's made out of up there. And then stairs, banisters, etc., etc. Columns, which is what that's made out of. So I haven't, without a balsam and granite, I haven't been able to like rebuild my home in the way it would look in its original state. And then we have the column bases and ornate ceilings if I really want to get fancy. There's even gilded ceilings, braziers if I want to rebuild braziers around here. But what I wanted here was a granite wall. And as you can see, it looks correct now, unlike before. And then granite barriers down below, because that's how it was originally designed. There's a bit of more of an ornate barrier on this one, so we'll do a decorative one here. And now it looks more or less in its original state. Maybe not perfect, but close. Then my entryway door is also of the old type. So we'll change that. Where this door frame, I don't think I could deconstruct because I didn't build it myself, so I have to pick this out. No, that's a fist. Try again. I'll pick this out and then, oh, I need a break for lunch or dinner. Let's make dinner. Meat stew. And then I'll replace this with like a proper doorway. My character's so hungry that I am barely able to do the refurbishings, the renovations. So in here, we'll do the adorned door. That's probably how it was supposed to originally look. Much better. I think there's also... IRL... lights like that would piss me off near my bed, but in-game, I can live with it. I have the silver for the loom, but not the wood. So I can go back to the deeps and get the wood. I did just get all the silver that I need for the Quarrymaster. So, let's see. What am I missing? One silver, steel? No problem. One of the advantages of having, like, multiple forges, although, of course, you can have multiple forges in one base, but, you know, for space, at least for now, I decided to use the other forge at the Mines of Moria outpost. Means I can just jump between and queue up multiples between. So I got all that. And yes, I'm starving, and I know. We'll fix that in a moment. Meal's still cooking. Hello. Are you looking for me? Perfect. At some point, I might want to build adorned doors here and like lock down my my neighborhood I don't really care to now, but I will eventually. Let's also decide to build a map stone in the Elven Quarter. I have enough gemstones for it, and I think it's probably worth doing. So we'll grab, in order for a small camp hearth, grab some coal. I already have the wood scraps. And plop down a fast travel site so that I don't have to keep running down there. In this case, I think I'm probably going to... So got my silver. I need to fetch the steel. Done. I need 8 Obossum wood. Oh no! One of my diamonds are going to go to the Quarrymaster. That's fine. Okay. Well, so be it. No fast travel yet. But that's on the short list of things to do. It's dusk, but I'm going to go and get my Quarrymaster now. I'm impatient. Do I have enough stone for the new hearth? I don't have resin. I do have the stone, though. Resin is a material that I'll probably find in the lower deeps. In spades. But before I go back into the lower deeps, it might be wise to try to farm for that ruby that I'm missing, so that I can more easily kill the enemies that are down there. Because not having a tier 3 weapon will make my DPS in the lower deeps terrible. Almost there. Well, not really. The forge is way out ahead. Or at least we're in the right quarter, I guess. And while I'm here, I'm going to go to the way of the blessing. So I can make more bread. And crab apples, too. A lot of the breakfasts I eat tend to be crab apples and cranberries. Whatever it is, like, it doesn't matter what meal you make. It just matters that you eat the meal at the right time. So, farming for at least one breakfast meal, one lunch meal, one dinner meal will allow you to get those stat bonuses. Dwarves don't care so much about variety as they do just that they have eaten the necessary meal at the necessary time. Oh, I couldn't grab. I need a runway, huh? Diving board. Much easier. Like the 5th time I've fallen in the water in that spot. I think all of my old treasure markers here could probably... I don't know, there's still actually treasure in that one. Okay, I was thinking I had already looted that stuff. Maybe while I'm here, I'll just loot it. So that I can clear it. Because I don't need an overly marked map. Pretty sure this one's not empty. Not even close. There was just straight iron in there. If you're wondering, there are packs larger than the one I currently have. I just don't have access to it. What is that noise? Too spooky. Apparently, all my treasure locations had treasure. I'm honestly surprised. Quarrymaster! So, if you're wondering why this thing is good, it's a two-hander that blows through material like you would not believe. It's great for everything. And it will also mine anything. So that gold that I couldn't get, nah, I can get that now. The adamant, I can get that now. I can get whatever I want with this thing. It is the best pick in the game. It's also a masterwork. So as you can see in the on the 0 bind, it takes up my masterwork slot. You can only hold one masterwork at a time. I was talking about this earlier, but if I made another masterwork, I'd be required to drop this. You can only hold one at a time. Not equip, hold in your inventory, in your backpack. So it does make it so that you have to choose which masterwork you want to commit to. But in my opinion, the Quarrymaster is the best. So it's certainly going to be my choice. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. Maybe I will demonstrate the Quarrymaster on this little cave here. Yeah. It's an order of magnitude more efficient than the picks I've been using. It's a masterwork for a reason. In fact, let's say I wanted iron. I know it's late at night, and I should be resting, but a dwarf sometimes just is compelled. Oh! Jesus. Okay. Maybe doing this at night? Come on, dwarf. Grab. Ah! Fine, I'll mine from the bottom. Yep, already got already got 30. I'm already kind of full. I should just build rope ladders. I don't have natural fiber, though. Could I drop it at home and go for another masterwork? Yes. So if I put this in like a chest at home, I could craft another masterwork. If I craft another masterwork with this held, I would just drop this on the ground. There's actually not too much risk dropping it on the ground. It won't despawn. So, like, I could have a map stone at the Great Forge of Narvi or any of the other Great Forges. Spoiler, Narvi's not the only Great Forge. And just swap between whatever I want. That's also doable. Well, there we go. You could that entire node is gone now. I could probably delete that because I got it. But yes, the Quarrymaster is my favorite because it makes mining very, very fun. In that you just blitz through mountains like they're not even there. It's also pretty good for other structures too. Right, if I want to break down, let's say, there's breakdown. Well, I was mining the granite here, so let's break down the building. You know how I was trying to refurbish the building? Well, unlike my last pick, this thing blows through walls. You actually have to be careful because its destruction radius is pretty large. So if you're trying to break down parts of your base, your structure, you gotta be careful not to blow apart way more than you asked for. Because it's just that good. I am not done with my priorities that are listed above me, though, so I'll be working on that in just a minute. Looks like I'm out of oats. I also meant to grab true quartz so that I could start repairing the lamps. So now I have some true quartz on me, and let's get sleeping. I think I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna wake up for lunch rather than breakfast, so I'll make 2 lunches because I'm going to sleep so late at night. So the current priority now is build a loom and a tier 3 weapon. It's late morning, so yeah, maybe I'll wait till noon for the... you know, I'm mining. I don't really care about the regen bonus. I also have Drake Hunter. Bit of a spoiler, but I do extra damage to dragons. Not that I've ever found one, but somehow I'm inspired to kill dragons all the same. I'm also going to queue up some more steel on the home forge. And for me to have the first stage, I need leather and ruby. So we'll go for... we'll go for the balsam wood first, I think, for the loom. And then farm the gems for the sword.
He cocks an ear at all the jests and laughs until he chokes. They also keep a horned cow as proud as any queen, but music turns her head like ale and makes her wave her tufted tail and dance upon the green.
That's my favorite song.
I'm dressed like a dwarf now. Oops. And I'm punching my home. Like a dwarf. Alright. Got the high spirits. Yeah, let's get the mushrooms. Yes, I had my tankard on my head. One of the advantages of having a nice bald head is I can balance up there. Oh, it's dark. The deeps here are, well, they're dark. Even when you have a lot of light sources, they're never all that illuminated. But I feel a little bit better knowing that I have like a mega pick. I know that I was here for mushrooms, but I still have a lot of silver stuff left to craft.
Me, a terrible day'd have he. If an orc should raise his sword at me, a terrible day'd have he. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if he would not flee, on a spike he'd sit by my fire pit, orc for dinner for me.
I don't know how I feel about a song about eating orc. I personally would draw the line at demi-human, but whatever. It's a song. Well, that mining was easy. There also might be a yes. So let's go ahead and fix our first lamp.
Takva Durin Rabia Kudrir Nachel im Durta.
till Durin wakes from sleep.
I get Undaunted. Bonus to stamina, health, energy, and it cures despair. So when you happen upon these broken lamps, you can run into the shadow, rebuild them and start singing, and you will not fall to despair as a result. So very powerful buffs to be had in rebuilding them. And then also, it's a permanent light source, and it will keep shadow at bay. There's a lot of benefits from rebuilding those. And for that, I just need granite and true quartz, so it's pretty cheap, too. This is iron? Yeah, I don't need iron. Despair is a health debuff, where when you fall into despair, it's basically getting, like, poisoned. Your mind is poisoned. So there's poison in this game where your body is poisoned, and despair makes your mind poisoned. So if I find another despair site, I'll despair myself before singing. In this case, I was not in the sphere of influence of the shadow, which is why I didn't fall to despair before singing it away. So a big reason to farm gemstones is once you get like at least one, or realistically more like 3 of every gemstone, you will unlock a bunch of enchantments. And some of the enchantments can be very useful in resource gathering. It's not just combat enchantments, although most of them are combat enchantments. Does anyone remember how close I was to having the loom? I think I was only maybe like, I don't know, 20 a bossum, or 10 a bossum wood out from it. What I'll do is I'll just get exactly how much I need or more for the loom, so I don't get back there and not have enough.
Of course, there are trolls. I hate trolls.
Yeah, I hate trolls. Fight you later. I definitely don't have the means to beat you now. Once I have the loom, I can also go back to Orctown where all the precious gems are, and just the Quarrymaster will make farming them a little bit easier. And it's not the only farming site available to me. You can also go into the depths, and I hope to show that at some point. Maybe not this stream, given the amount of time I have left, but, you know, at some point. Because going to the depths is a bit of a wild time. In a fun way. So, I got 29 wood. The loom costs 24. So, I think I'm all set. Let's get looming. Orctown has some nice meat. Unfortunately, all the inhabitants of Orctown are kind of dead, so doesn't have cannibalistic meat anymore. Loom isn't something you interact with often, so much like the enchantment table, you could probably put this in a less trafficked spot of your base. And it now allows me to make leather with hide and salt. And leather is one of the resources I'm going to need going forward. It also allows for me to make cloth from the cloth scraps. So getting my first cloth there. How did this fall to such low integrity? I'm pretty sure I fixed that at some point. So getting salt is going to be needed for the sword, too. Because I believe the sword required leather. Let's double check. Weapons. Leather. So I should, I'll farm for that. And I'm making a lot more space in my inventory. Alright, we'll have a bunch of silver queued up. You know what I should do is make myself a lunch. My dude's hungry. Fingers and mash. It's the first time I'll be eating that. Oh, there's a critter outside that wants to fight. I will oblige. So I did mark down salt. That was in the lower deeps. I had found silver and salt. So I'm going to show that and head there next. Get the salt, and then I can circle back and get gems. I mean, gems you can find anywhere, everywhere. So maybe I'll find some gems in lower deeps while I'm down there. I think salt was this way. I'm gonna have to be a little careful not to aggro because there's a bunch of enemies straight ahead. Luckily, I think the salt's off to the south, so I can mostly avoid them. If you're wondering, as far as I'm aware, the light that you cast as a player is not seen by enemies. So enemies can see your like sphere of influence or whatever when you get too close, but like being really illuminous isn't going to make them see you any better, in other words. So you don't have to like cut your light levels to sneak, which is good. One of the recipes I unlocked, so all these furnishings is from having the loom, obviously. There isn't like like Valheim, there isn't a benefit for having a well-furnished living area. There's no like passive bonus or anything, it just looks nice. But we'd also unlocked in the oven a salted meat, which is a really simple recipe to make with salt. Obviously the salt that we have initially should be probably used to make leather rather than salted meat, but salted meat is a pretty easy one to acquire later on. Let's delete that salt zone. I want to repair that. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough regular stone on me. I'm not going to be able to repair that anyway. I left my base without regular stone. Oh, speaking of regular stone, it's no problem. There's plenty of it right here. Keep your voice down, man. Not too late. Alright, I'm gonna get real messed up because there's poison mushrooms here and shadow. But the idea is to get this statue rebuilt for some blueprints and then turn back. So I got one of the blueprints for Belagos Mail, which is tier 3 armor. And you can see the despair. So I'm cast into despair. It's not such a problem for me at the moment because I also have a passive health regen from eating a lunch meal at lunchtime. So I'm not getting ruined by this despair like I would otherwise. But I would like to start killing the enemies around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my my salt home, make some leather, and then go... or actually, I'm going to fast travel and get towards Orktown for the gems to try to get a ruby. And then I'll start massacring orcs down in the lower deeps so that I'm not stuck with only the zones that are unpatrolled. How's the Diggy Dwarf today? Pretty good. I've only almost fallen to my death once, which is, you know, an improvement. I think the Mines of Moria are the closest to Orktown. Yeah, no complaints. My little dwarf doing good things. There's gem right there.
If a troll should trundle up my trail, a terrible day'd have he. If a troll should trundle up my trail, a terrible day'd have he. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if he would not flee, I'd arrange his teeth in a festive wreath, troll for dinner for me. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
So you can kind of tell what resource you're going to get from mining precious gems from the color of the gems. They're a bit color-coded, and I should have been marking what colors I saw them at. Oh, I think we're getting gold for the first time here, too. Swank. And this is surrounded by adamant. So we're also getting adamant, if I'm not mistaken. Which is like the next stone up from granite. It's worth noting, do not smelt your gold ore into gold ingots unless you know what you're doing. Gold ore is required for other things other than the gold ingots, and gold ingots are mostly for decorations and minting your own coins for treasure. So, once you find gold, don't be like, ooh, gold ingots, let's go! Because, yeah, you don't want to do that. So, just warning. That amassing gold ingots is not the way. But, yeah. So we have adamant, which is a new tier of walls. It doesn't match what I have at home, but it also unlocks the grand hearth, which is even yet a bigger hearth. So, right now I have a stone hearth. I could jump to a grand hearth. The grand hearth is not the largest, but still pretty awesome. Or is it? Oh, I forget. Maybe it is the largest. What's down this way? Nothing of concern. Alright, let's go to Orktown to see if... Oh, no, don't do that. To see if one of the gem nodes had ruby. If I can't find it there... I could find it in a descent chasm. I don't want to go down a descent chasm unless you guys vote for me to, though, because it's a bit of an endeavor. But maybe I'll do it just to demo it. I'm kind of on the fence about that. Oh, I need wood. Sorry, scaffolding that has been here for hundreds of years, but I need to build slapdash scaffolding, so all your resources are belong to me.
I see prey ahead.
Honestly, I'm just too lazy to run around this big stone, so I'm going to build myself a bridge. Much faster. Well, probably not, in the scheme of things. But it's a shortcut that will be there forever now. Alright, what do we have around? We have got iron, gold, and adamant. Oh, okay, so there's a bunch more gold down this way. Maybe I grab it, so I can mark it off. Unless it was the... This wasn't the gold that I just got, right? That'd be a silly. No, I haven't been here. Hey, Doris, thank you for the resub, and you're welcome for the content. My pleasure. So there was a note that I made for myself that there's gold on the other side. Oh, sometimes there's resource caches. What I gather, and I could be wrong about this, is like if you dropped items that would have otherwise despawned, it can create a resource cache that you can come back to. So even if items are going to despawn for some reason, you can prevent them from that happening because it forms a cache. And here's a really good example of falling to despair and praying. So let's do that. Or singing, I should say, not praying. Oh, I don't have true quartz on me! No! Okay, I got out in time. I quick sorted and put all my true quartz away. Oops. Ooh, damn, that's a lot of gold. I feel like Smeagol. Ooh, gold! But, yeah. Let's do it. Oh my god, this is a lot of gold. You can see why I made the Quarrymaster, I think. Because if I didn't have it, mining a node like this would take ages. But with this big honker, this thing is like no problem at all. Is it best to top down? Yeah, personal preference. It might be a little easier going top down. I have 40 of gold. Nice. I don't really have a lot of room for additional ingots, and I'm in bone cold debuff, so I think I'm just going to sleep quickly, turning everything in, and then hitting the Orc Town for precious gems. Actually, do I know where a chasm is? I might want to try to go into a chasm tomorrow, just to demo it as a game mechanic, instead of Orc Town, because it could be more interesting for you guys. So maybe I'll hit up a chasm tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 13th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits, thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dwarves.